Hey friends, it's Farmer Jason with Garden City Harvest and the Peas Farm, and I wanted to welcome you to our virtual Farmer in the Classroom program. We will be coming to you via the computer to talk about food and farming over the next 6 months, and hopefully in the spring we'll get to see you at the Peas Farm or one of our other farms throughout Missoula. We have two other farm educators who will be joining us in the Farmer in a Classroom virtual program. Let's meet them.
Hi there, I'm Farmer Hannah. You might recognize me from the school gardens at Franklin, Hawthorne, or Chief Shiloh elementary schools, or from the River Road or Peas farms. Some of my favorite things to grow and eat are sugar snap peas, corn, and winter squash. This winter, I'm really excited to be making a couple videos for you. I'll be teaching you about wheat in January and cows in February. See you then.
Hi, second graders. I'm Farmer Lori, and you may have seen me before. I spend a lot of time gardening at Lowell Elementary School, Rattlesnake Elementary School, and Paxton Elementary School. And I even spent a lot of time farming at the River Road Farm this past summer season. If I had to pick my very favorite vegetable to grow and to eat, it would be a tomato. This winter and spring, we are going to be learning about apples together in December, and in March, we're going to be learning about honeybees. I'm really excited to teach you about some of my favorite things, and I look forward to seeing you soon.
Okay friends, so we are excited to come to you every month with two videos about food and farming, so you guys can learn about what farmers do, a little bit about the food we grow in Montana, and I'm going to show you guys a picture of Montana. This right here is a map of Montana, and you can see that there's some yellow parts, there's kind of some white parts, kind of some brownish purple parts. Those are all different types of landscapes in our state. And you can see the yellow parts over here and the yellow parts in here in between these purple and white and brown parts. Those are flat areas. Those are valleys or the plains, especially over here in eastern Montana. And the stuff that has white tops and purple and brownish, those are mountains. Okay? So those are the higher parts of the state. And if you look right here, you can find us in Missoula, Montana. We're that big dot right here. Okay? I like to think of the state of Montana as the west side, which is over here in this area, where we are in the state. Kind of, it's looking like the profile of a man. Can you guys see that? How my face turned this way? Kind of looks like Montana here. And Missoula would be the eyeball of that face. And this down here would be the nose, and we see a mouth here, and maybe a little beard down here. So that's an easy way to find Missoula on a map of Montana. Now, since we have these areas that are flat and areas with mountains, farming in Montana is a lot different depending on where you are in our giant state. As you can see, this is a map of all of North America, okay? And a little bit of South America on there too. You can see where Montana is on that map. We are in the northern part of the United States, bordering Canada. And these areas that are pink, that are shaded down here, those are areas that are kind of tropical. Not completely tropical, all of them, but you can see this Tropic of Cancer right here and the equator down here. That's the middle of the Earth, the line that goes around the middle of the Earth. Not a real line. But if there was a line, that's where the line would be. It goes right around the middle. And those areas are warm all year round. So they're not going to have snow, at least not very often, not like we do. And it's not going to get super cold. It's not going to see ice. Okay? So those are places where you're going to see people be growing different kinds of things than we can grow here. So stuff like oranges and lemons and limes and bananas. Stuff that we would call tropical fruits. So here's a whole world map, not just Montana or the United States or North America. We are right here. Okay? So you can see that pink area again. Those are the tropics. Those are the super warm areas where it's warm all the time. Maybe a cold day there would be like 60 degrees. Okay, so pretty warm all the time, which means they can grow a lot different stuff there. So it also means that those areas don't have seasons like we do. It's going to be warm all the time there. So they may have a rainy season and a dry season, but they're not going to have the seasons like we think of, right? Where we have spring, summer, winter, and fall. Okay? In the spring in Montana, you can see by the picture, there's still some snow, but things are starting to green up. Trees are going to be budding again. They're going to start growing their leaves again. And in the summer, it's nice and warm. All the plants are thriving. They're growing super fast. And as you can see, in the fall, which is the season we are still in now, even though it's cold out, the leaves change on the trees. Lots of stuff browns up. Lots of plants die, or they go into what we would call dormancy, which is kind of like hibernation for plants. So they begin to start to do that. And then in the winter, you can see super snowy, super cold here. Most of your plants are going to be either in dormancy, waiting for the spring, or they will have died, which is what happens to most of the vegetables up at our farm. So, and then we'll move right back into spring, and the whole cycle will start all over again, which we are excited about already, even though it's not even officially winter yet. So, I think I said the words growing season in there. A growing season is the part of a year we can normally grow fruits and vegetables outside. In those tropical areas I mentioned, that means pretty much all year. They may be restricted by how much rain they get, but they can pretty much grow vegetables all year. We can't do that here. If you look outside right now, it might be snowy out. It's definitely cold, and those two things make it very hard for us to grow vegetables. They're in the late fall, winter, and early spring. So our growing season here in Missoula is much shorter. Like I said, those places in tropical areas, they can grow stuff year round, which is why they can grow a lot of different things than us here in Montana. But that doesn't mean we can't grow a lot of great stuff here. So our Missoula growing season, and the growing season changes a lot depending on the place you're at in Montana. But in Missoula and in most of Montana, the growing season starts mid-April through about middle of October, okay? Which is about 180 days, which is about how much of a year? How many days are in a year? It is 365. So it's about half of our year that we can grow stuff outside and have them, make food for us. So why can't we grow vegetables in the rest of the year? Well, I kind of already mentioned this, and I'm going to give you a couple clues right here. It's because it is too cold outside during the winter for plants to grow. Okay? You can see the tree there on the right-hand part of your screen. It's still alive. It's just not growing at all. Like I said, it goes into dormancy, which is a lot like a bear hibernating or a ground squirrel hibernating, where they're just making it through the winter on minimal resources, but not really growing anymore. Hey friends, so that's the end of our first video. When I come to you again in our second video, we will talk about storage vegetables, which are a very important part of what we grow here in Montana, so that we can make it through our long winters without being able to grow food outside. So we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.